Hello, welcome to Modelkit Stuff. First impressions day today. Not often that I do figures, but this is a new set that's been released, which I plan to put into a diorama that I'm going to be building at some point in the future. So these are new tools from Miniart, Street Workers, kit number 38081. They're in 1:35 scale, and I think we get everything that you see on the box front. Then on the sides, we've got some other figures that are recent releases as well. The front information, cover information on there, and then we've got different languages. Tells us that it's an unassembled plastic kit containing 3 figures, and paint and glue are not included. And then on the back here, we've got our paint instructions and the paint call out at the bottom. So there's 8 colours called in total for Vallejo, Mr. Colour, AK Real Colours, Mission Models, Ammo MIG, Tamiya, and then it gives you the name of those colours as well. You know, really 3 very different poses on there. They as individuals, they could be separated and put onto individual dioramas or grouped together into one street scene. Very, very nice. Right, let's have a look what we get in the box. So we've got some form of instructions. We've got our plastic parts. Okay. And that is that. Right. So let's have a look at our instructions first. It's just a single sheet printed on one side. We have a sprue map at the top. So we've got 1, 2, 3 non-figure sprues, and then a sprue for each of the figures. So 6 sprues in total. Oh, plus clear parts as well. So we've got instructions for building the collapsible ladder, step ladder. We've got instructions for building the lamp. If you saw my recent review of the tram big set, these will be familiar to you because this was in the set, the lamps. In fact, this sprue was in. So once again, we've got some of these spare parts, so that's really helpful. Right, let's have a look and at the plastic parts, I think. So as is the way for Miniart, we've got a single heat sealed bag. I'm just going to open that. There we go. Okay, so once again they've cut the sprue to get it in the box. So yeah, that would have been there like that. I don't know why, because actually the sprue itself is not too long for the box. Or maybe it's right on the limit, I guess, right on the limit. Okay, so once again, we've got clear parts that are spares. So let's have a look at the clear parts first. So we've got 2 lots of clear parts. One that is the bulbs for inside the lamp. We've only got 1 lamp, I'm guessing. So we've got 3 spares. They're really handy 1/35 scale, really handy for, you know, making ceiling lamps in buildings or exterior lights over doors and stuff like that. So, you know, that's a real win, that, in your spares box. And then we've got the lamp and this face again, so this like clock face. So the lamp should be made out of 2 parts, I think. Not dead clear on the instructions, but I think so. It's 6-sided, so yeah. So you've got a spare in there as well. There's no pegs, there's no male and female, it's just mate them up. So they look pretty cool. And then let's just... We've got one street lamp and its base, and we've got the fitting for it and the base, and then we've got the top. But actually we've got 3 bases, 3 tops, 3 crowns, so we could actually use these as suspended lights, maybe from these. We could possibly have it as a suspended light, maybe. That would be quite interesting to do, wouldn't it? Yeah. You could possibly hang that upside down. So instead of using that as a base, instead of that being the base, you could turn the whole thing upside down, so that's facing down, and then mount that bit that mounts onto the top of the lamppost on this bit here and have it as a suspended lamp, which should look really nice actually. I think we might do that. And then we've got these this clock face here, so that sandwiches together, but we've only got one clear part. So like I said when I was reviewing the trams, you could use it as a station clock face or a clock face on a tall building or something like that. So that's really cool. We've got the hands there for the clock, so that's really nice. We've got a short hand. We could do with perhaps fabricating a long hand, maybe extending that one a little bit or something, but yeah, really good. All the parts are nice and sharp. Yeah, nothing wrong with those. Very nicely done. And it's generic enough to be anywhere in Europe. I've got a bit of a... You can see that arm there is dropping a little bit. It's just a little bit bent in the bag. Oh, there's a different... Ah, right. We've got a different hand there for the clock. I hadn't noticed that. Yeah, that's longer. Okay, interesting. Cool. So that's our parts for the lamp. Then we'll have a separate sprue here for the ladder. So that's got some nice wood graining on it. It's a little bit overdone, but it always is at this scale. Put it on a wash though, that'll look fine. The sides of the ladder don't have that wood graining though, they're totally smooth. So yeah, don't know. And we do have a little pin, like a little bolt head for each one of the rungs here, but we've also got quite a bit of seam, so the cleanup on that will be challenging. I mean, look at how many ejector pins you've nubs that you're going to have to clean up as a result of that, but it will do the job with a bit of patience. That should look really quite nice. Right, first figure. So this is the guy sweeping. So we've got the end of his brush here, and I'm guessing that's the pole for the brush, but you could replace that with a bit of wire if you wanted. So he's got nice sagging pockets on his trousers and patches on his knees. One of his arms appears to be in 2 pieces, so I think that's the one that's holding the top of the brush there. So you can animate his arm a little bit within that sleeve. Torso looks nice, and yeah, creases look natural, which is what you're looking for. And he has a flat cap. And then when we look at his face, yeah, he's got a I'm busy looking expression on his face. Now, in the picture on the box, he has a cigarette in his mouth, but that's not included. So if you wanted to do that, you just snip off a little bit of very thin wire and paint it white, and that's easy enough. Done that before. Yeah, nothing wrong with those. A little bit of flash on them in places, and then cleaning up the seam, and you should be good to go. This is the lady who's the paper seller. So these look like the newspapers, which all sort of stick together. Okay, so you've got a top and bottom face, and then one that's sandwiched in the middle. Then you've got half legs that go into the dress, wearing shoes, so all common for the period. Again, some heavy seam on there, bit of flash, and actually possibly this mould has slipped a little bit because there seems to be quite a step in it. A lot of cleanup on this. The look on her face is a little unusual. She appears to have her eyes closed or maybe looking down, so not often you see a figure that doesn't have her eyes wide open, so I quite like that actually. And the jacket looks nice, again with slight bulges to the pockets and quite a bit of seam. Okay, and then finally we have the chap that stood on the ladder sorting out the lamp, switching it on, maintaining it, switching it off, something like that. And this guy has got some quite a bit of bagginess in his trousers, and again has a flat cap, and this time wearing a tie. Once again, quite a bit of flash on these figures. Yeah, quite flashy. He has a face with a real concentration expression on. Looks all right though. Again, all looks fairly natural. Don't see any real issues other than a lot, and I mean a lot of cleanup. Yeah, it'll keep you busy for a little while, that. Okay, I'm going to take some photographs and we can sum up. So there you have it, the Miniart 1 to 35 Street Workers. What is my first impressions? Well, despite the unfortunate name of this kit, I think it's a really nice kit, and a little bit unusual. Miniart are brilliant at not leaving the modeler hanging when it releases vehicles which have civilian options. They then come and support that with figures so that you can build little dioramas and vignetti that have these figures in, and I think it's great that they do that. And so they cover figures that you can use individually or you can use together as groups, and then later on you might find that those figures get put with other kits into one of their big sets. So they really do give the range of kits some flexibility and give the modeler a huge amount of choice. So generally I think the figures are always really good, and we've got some quite unique figures in the range: butchers, cheese sellers, bakers, all sorts of people, refugees, farm labourers, truck drivers, all that sort of stuff that sort of support the vehicles that they produce. And Miniart do some lovely vehicles that usually they'll have military and civilian options or releases. They generally do a civilian release and a military release and do it that way. But this is really, really nice. And this particular kit, well, it gives you a road sweeper. So he's a really general one that could be in almost any peacetime, non-frontline sort of diorama. The same with the guy lighting the lamp. It gives you a feel of the time of day. It's either early morning and he's switching it off, or it's early evening and he's switching it on. And then the paper seller, the fact that the paper seller's a woman as well, I think is really nice. Not the usual sort of, when you think about a paper seller, you think about teenage lads selling them. But so I think that's really, really nice. And like I say, you could use all of those together, or you could, as a sort of an early morning scene, lantern being lit, guy sweeping the path in front of the shop, and paper seller stood on the corner. That's your opening scene for whatever it is you want to model and display. But we get all sorts of extras because the lamp is in a fret with the clock face. You've got different types of brackets there, so you could hang the lantern on the wall of one of their buildings. You've got a ladder there that could be used for all sorts of different things, from mechanics to painting the front of the store. You've got all sorts of options. I really like these sets. You always get some extras in them. If we think about the instructions, they're fairly basic, but they do show you what you need to do, and it's quite self-evident how it all goes together. Arms go on shoulders, and legs go on torsos. It's not rocket science. So the instructions do what you need to do. The painting instructions are thorough. The plastic parts themselves are nicely moulded, nice expressions, fairly crisp. There's a little bit of clean up to do. You expect that on any figure by any manufacturer, but Miniart kits generally need a little bit more clean up than most anyway. So yeah, I think that all works really nicely. So there's nothing to say, I wouldn't get these, because I think it's a really nice set. So thank you for looking in. I hope that was useful if you've been considering them. I don't review figures very often, but we do have one or two more to review over the next few months. So if you like this video, please hit the like button so other people can find the video. And if you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, and I put out between 3 and 5 videos a week, all modelling related. So thanks for looking in. You enjoy your modelling, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Hi, and thanks for watching. You can support the channel by hitting the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you don't miss any content that I put out. Modelkit Stuff is a self-funded channel, and I don't do membership or Patreon or buy me a coffee. So if you'd like to further donate to the channel and ensure the cameras keep rolling and the content keeps coming, then you can consider making a donation through my PayPal. You'll find a link to that in the text below. You enjoy your modelling, and I'll see you soon.